In 2006, Ford introduced their all-new Fusion midsize sedan to slot right in between the Focus and the Taurus. This was the first generation Fusion. It was facelifted in 2010, and then in 2013 they completely redesigned it. 2017 got another minor facelift, and then again in 2019, and this is where it ended up. This is a 2020 Ford Fusion Titanium, and this is the final model year for the Ford Fusion. Today we're going to take a walk around this thing, full comprehensive review, as well as give you all a test drive of this thing, show you what it's all about and what it's like to drive. So let's get started. But before we begin this review, huge thanks and huge shout out to Hepperly Auto Sales in Lenoir City, Tennessee for supplying this vehicle for this review. I'll place a link down in the description below to their website so you can browse their inventory. They've got a great selection of trucks, SUVs, cars, even Jeeps, and this 2021 Toyota Supra. So go check them out. Huge thanks to the folks over here at Hepperly. All right, let's start on the outside with the exterior styling of this car. Now you can see it's a pretty nice looking mid-size sedan, somewhat sporty, definitely not a bad looking car. Now once again, this is the titanium trim of the Ford Fusion, so this is going to have all the nicest stuff. Here we have these nice headlights right here. They are gonna, the housing is blacked out inside, so it definitely accentuates the actual lighting pods themselves. You do have a LED running light strip that kind of goes like this, and when you hit your signal it changes to your amber just on the top there. Down below you do have some nice, looks like LED fog lamps as well. On lower trims it's just this black panel. With the LED fog lights it definitely looks a lot better than just a black panel. You got some nice chrome accents down here on the bumper, as well as your nice chrome grille. I do like the lines of the hood. It gives it another kind of a sporty look, and you can see these lines from inside while you're driving, which is also very nice. Come around here, we do have the 5-spoke wheels that come on the titanium trim. These are very nice wheels. Here's your mirrors with your integrated side turn signals. A little bit of chrome accent strip on the door handle as well. Coming around back, the titanium trim does get this spoiler. Not so certain that it does anything for aero or performance, but it looks very nice. Here's your taillights. You can see the nice chrome strip that runs through the middle of each one. Before the 2019 facelift, this strip ran all the way across from one side to the other, but for 19 they changed it so it just had the strip on each side. Down below you do have, looks like dual exhaust. Very nice to see. Gives it once again another nice sporty look to the car. And of course here we have your badging, this EcoBoost all-wheel drive titanium. So this is the Turbo 4. We'll get to that in a second, and it is all-wheel drive. Coming around the driver's side of the car, nothing different from the passenger, but just another nice look at the vehicle. Now let's open the hood and take a look at the engine. Now this is interesting in a way that, you know, most of your hood releases are here in the center, but for the Fusion you can come all the way over to the passenger side. It's right here, and that's how you raise the hood up. And with the hood up we can see the 2.0 liter EcoBoost 4-cylinder engine. This is, of course, EcoBoost being a turbocharged engine, that is Ford speak for turbocharged. This produces 245 horsepower, 275 pound-feet of torque, and is mated to a 6-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy for this car was rated at 20 city, 29 highway, 23 combined. Now it was available in this trim in a hybrid variant, which gave you a CVT transmission, front-wheel drive only, but that was rated to get 43 in the city, 41 highway. Now lower trims of the car that were non-EcoBoost came with either a I want to say still 2 liter, maybe slightly higher, naturally aspirated 4-cylinder. The trim directly below this, which I believe was SEL, had a 1.5 liter EcoBoost. So this is your more powerful engine here in the titanium. Before we get in, here's your Ford key. It's just your typical Ford key. So you got your lock, unlock, remote start, and trunk opener. Right here on the door handle you have a little pad to lock it if you have the key on you, sensor on the back to unlock it. You also get the traditional Ford number pad here, so if you choose to lock your key in the car purposely, say you go to the lake or the beach or something, you can leave your key and not get it damaged and still get into your car. Open it up, and we'll start here on the interior front door panel. Nothing that I would call fancy, but it is a nice black with a little bit of chrome trim that incorporates the door handle. Very nice. Of course, you get your power windows and mirror controls with some little chrome accents on them. Over here at the interior, here's your headlight controls and looks like cluster brightness. Over here, your steering wheel, you have your controls for the screen on the left, controls on the right for the screen on the right. You have your big central speedometer. Here are your buttons for your cruise control, adaptive cruise control actually, and here is your radio and phone controls. Here's your turn signal stock, and here is your wiper stock. Engine start stop button right here. We'll go ahead and fire this car up, and this is that nice Ford ding everybody's come to know and love. All right, so in the gauge cluster, once again, we do have our big central speedometer. Here we have our screen to the right, which has multiple different settings. Now in this setting, you do have your fuel gauge digitally displayed on the screen. If we go, we can also change it apparently very easily between miles and kilometers. If we go over here to our display mode and scroll up and down, here we have our tire pressure monitors. You can have a tachometer in here as well, and right there is your tachometer, and you get your fuel gauge. It kind of moves over and makes room for a temp gauge. I do like that. You can have it just display the fuel gauge and tach, distance to empty, your all-wheel drive status, and back to the speedometer. Go back here, you have your trips, fuel economy display. This will show you your average economy and most likely what you're currently getting. Driver assist features, you do have your cruise control, which is of course once again adaptive or radar cruise control, as well as all your driver alert aids. You can turn those on and off, lane keeping, pre-collision warning, blind spot, traction control, cross traffic alert, cruise, all those good beautiful things. And of course here's your settings menu where you can go into vehicle settings and you get your different lighting settings and things like that. Locks, oil life. You can go back, you have my key and display setup, and you can change how your display looks, whether it's Fahrenheit or Celsius, distance in miles. It's kind of cool. Gauge display, fuel gauge, fuel and tach. Very configurable left side screen. And in your right side gauge cluster screen, here you have a compass. Go back over here, go to your entertainment. It'll display what stations are playing, your Sirius, all those good things. You jump back over here, you go down to here is your phone settings as well. Moving over here to the center stack, you do have your touchscreen infotainment running Sync 3. Comes with both Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Very nice. Here's your audio settings. You got your different audio inputs. Obviously, you do have navigation. Not the quickest thing in the world, at least not yet. You do have your nav. Go back to our home button here. We do have climate controls that are integrated into the screen, kind of redundant because they're also down here, but you do have some controls up here. Now you do have your heated and cooled seats. Obviously, if we hit this menu button here, you can also see a heated steering wheel, which we will not be turning on because it is warm outside. But once again, you have all your controls up here, but you also have to have them down here. So of course you have your auto, your defrosters. Here's your temp settings. You do have dual zone climate control, so you have control on each side, as well as your fan speed. Here is your heated and cooled front seats. You do have those on both sides. Here are also your stereo controls with your big central power button and volume dial. And of course these buttons here for seek your channel or tracks and your tuner. Below your stereo and climate controls, you do have a nice storage cubby area down here. Big enough for a modern smartphone. Not a wireless charger, but it's a nice place to put it. You do have two USB type A ports that look like they are illuminated. It is a shame this being a 2020 vehicle that doesn't have any type C, but of course Ford was planning to kill this off, so they probably didn't bother adding them. Here of course is your 12-volt round port as well. Kind of cool. It's kind of like this pass-through feature on both sides, so you can just stick things in from the sides or the right. And I guess if you really wanted to, although I wouldn't, they could probably double as grab handles, but I don't think they need to be done that way. You do have a little storage pocket right here. Definitely not big enough for the biggest of smartphones, but you can, I guess you can prop it up there at least. Moving back, you do have 2 cup holders, and you have your automatic transmission selector, which of course is this here knob. And if you think you're too good to use a knob for your automatic transmission, just keep in mind Ford also used this in the Mustang GT500 and in the new Ford GT supercar. So you're not too good. You do have the electronic parking brake, not my favorite thing in the world, but it is there. And another small spot for maybe you can stick the keys, it's there, maybe some coins, some mints, whatever you want. Coming back here, we're going to open up the central console. It's fairly deep. I don't see any other ports in here. I do see what looks like it may have contained some, or they may have wanted to option it in. I'm not entirely certain on that, but it doesn't have any more ports in there, but you do still have a decent amount of storage in the front. Moving up towards the ceiling up front, you do have all your controls for your lighting as well as your power sunroof. Very nice big open sunroof right here. You do have HomeLink garage controls here on the driver's visor. Push here, you do have your sunglasses storage as well. You got a couple of map lights here with the little buttons right there to push them. One button here to turn on the entirety of the interior lighting, or this one right here for your door control. Over here on the passenger side, you can see that the silver trim continues onto the dash and flows to the door panel, at least somewhat. It is broken up right here, but it continues the theme. We open up our lockable glove box. You do have 2 levels of storage in here. You have kind of a shallow bottom tray and then kind of a deeper upper tray. So you get a little bit of separation for your stuff. That's kind of nice. You do have fully adjustable power seats on both sides and some relatively okay bolstered front bucket seats as well. All right, sitting in the back seat, I have the driver's seat adjusted to where I'm comfortable. I'm just a hair over 6 foot, and it's okay. Now I'm into the seat here. Of course, you know, I'm not exactly a short person, but with the right driver in front of you, you can still be comfortable back here. You do have climate control vents, but no controls separate from the front. You do only have a 12-volt round outlet back here. There are no USB ports. Once again, disappointing for 2020. However, probably Ford didn't care all that much since they planned on killing it off. You do have storage pocket on the back of the passenger seat, but not the driver. Kind of typical in cars nowadays. Still wish they put them on both seats. If we remove this seat belt out of my way and pull down this console, or this armrest, you do have 2 cup holders here as well. Otherwise, not bad. Headroom is halfway decent. I'm not hitting the ceiling. I actually have to try. So it's not bad at all in here. So definitely not a bad place to spend time, especially if you got the right driver and rear passenger, or front and rear passenger combination in the car. All right, getting into the trunk, we're gonna tap the trunk button twice and she'll open right up. And here we open up to 16 cubic feet of cargo storage space. And I do like where they've kind of hidden the hinges to the trunk in here, where you can't accidentally get anything too close to them and get it damaged. Up ahead, you do have a 60/40 split rear bench, so you can of course maximize your cargo capacity in this car. But for a mid-size, 16 cubic feet, definitely not bad at all. Nothing really of note back here. Now we pick it up, this does have a spare tire in it as well, and the jack. I believe if you wanted to, I think you could have optioned them without it, but it's not really my kind of thing. Put that back down. Not bad. Nothing really noteworthy back here. Just a nice, decent sized storage area. Now your cargo opening is right here about at my knee, so it's not bad at all. Very low loading floor. That's very nice to have. All right, let's get this Fusion Titanium on the road and see how it does. First of all, see how she takes off. She's not bad. That 2-liter EcoBoost definitely has the power to get up and go if you need it to. Great for passing, great for getting out of a hairy situation. I've seen 0 to 60 times online that kind of varied anywhere from the 6.5 to 7.8 time. I'm not entirely certain what that's going to be. Obviously, it's not a race car, but it's definitely not a slouch either. Driving it, pretty comfortable. Not gonna lie, it's just not bad at all. Getting used to a dial, a knob to shift to shift your transmission is kind of weird, but yeah, it's no big deal. Visibility out of the front, very nice. You get that view over that hood with those body lines. It gives it a nice sporty appearance as well. Side view mirrors are all right. They're about to what you'd expect out of a mid-sized car. Visibility out the rear window, not too terrible either. The mirror's not really adjusted to me, but that's fine. I drive trucks for a living. I don't ever have a rear view mirror. Otherwise, it's not bad. It's comfortable. I've got the AC going. The cooled seats are on, and it feels pretty good in here. 61 degrees outside, it says it is. Let's get this thing and see how she handles as well. All right, I'm gonna put it in sport mode and test out the paddle shifters now. They're okay. You're not lightning responsive, and you're not really feeling very much, but it's okay. It adds a little bit of fun, I guess, to the driving experience of this car. It's not really built or intended to be a fun vehicle, but you know, if you have to daily drive it and you get a little bored, you can always drop it in sport and have a little bit of fun with it. Now, up ahead, hopefully there should be some nice curves. We can see how it handles as well. Here's some curves. Let's see how she feels. These aren't the tightest curves, and I'm probably not going to be able to get it anywhere near some really nice tight curves. But going around these is definitely not bad. Obviously, it's once again not a sports car, but it can handle it with absolutely no problem. You can feel it going through the turns, but it's really not that bad. Overall, though, not bad, pretty comfortable, very stable, got a good amount of power. Here in a minute, we'll see if we can get out on the highway and see what it's like. And getting on the interstate now, and you definitely have enough power out of that EcoBoost 4 to get up on the interstate and to get around people who probably shouldn't be on the interstate as well, like this guy. It is not bad. It's a fairly comfortable ride. You could definitely take a road trip in this thing, and there that guy goes. See how she handles over some little transitions there. Not bad. Suspension's pretty, you know, pretty comfortable as well. Obviously, you know, this is not a Mercedes-Benz, it's not a Rolls-Royce. You're not going to soak up every itsy-bitsy little thing on the road, but I definitely can't complain about the ride of this car, about the comfort of it, the way it handles, and especially the power that's got underneath the hood. It definitely delivers. Alright, let's get this thing back and wrap it up, shall we? And so there you have it. That's the 2020 final model year Ford Fusion. I find it kind of unfortunate that Ford discontinued this car and pretty much all their other cars, except for, of course, Mustangs, just to focus on trucks, SUVs, and crossovers, and Mustangs. Because this, as far as I can tell, is a pretty good car, and most people, I think, really do like them. But, you know, unfortunately for people lovers of the Ford Fusion, as if COVID wasn't bad enough thing to deal with in 2020, they also had to deal with the fact that this was done. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I hope you found it informative and it helps you make a decision. If you're considering a Honda Accord, Chevy Malibu, consider a Ford Fusion as well, because I did enjoy this car. I think it's a great all-around family mid-size sedan. Anyways, if you did enjoy this video, you'd like to see more like it, or anything else I have going on the channel, make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Follow on Instagram and Facebook at that car vlog channel. Like the video, share it if you feel so inclined, and that's going to be it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and once again, huge thanks to Blake and everybody over at Hepperly Auto Sales in Lenoir City, Tennessee, for providing this car for me to review today and for allowing me to do this. Hopefully we'll have more dealership loaner cars coming. I think we just might. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. You have a great day.